Here we go, folks. Welcome to the 2023 NBA Draft. Here to just chat, talk, do whatever. I am Josh Engleman. Follow me at Josh Engleman on the Twitters if you're interested. This is going to be a fun one. I enjoy doing stuff like this. Hit the like button when you get in the door. That'll help out a ton. We got a lot to talk about, folks. Not a lot to talk about in terms of the first pick, but everything else is going to get... I have a weird feeling that this is going to be truly insane. I don't know what's going to break down. We'll probably know it pretty early, but it's going to get wild. Flying solo for right now. If anybody else pops in, happy to have them. We didn't do a lot of planning here, I'm not going to lie, but you know me for these kinds of things. I just want to hop on, shoot the shit, talk, do whatever we can. Lots to look at, lots to talk about. Like, obviously, we know Wemby's going one. After that, all bets are off. It's going to start to look pretty interesting. I don't care too much about, like, the individual nature of the draft. I know what I pay attention to. I don't pretend to think that I know how good these guys are really going to be. I'll let the models do that. 99% of every name that we say today is going to be useless in the first year, other than Wemby. Like, he should step in and be fine, but rookies are generally awful in the NBA. I don't expect this to change really at all. So I tend to look at this more of just like, did a guy I like go to a good team? Did a guy that I like fall? And things that I like are probably something in a statistical model, which we're actually going to take a look at over this first, 15 minutes or so. Until we get somebody on the clock that isn't the Spurs, if we don't have any news, it's not going to be that interesting. I have my tweet deck pulled up in the stream, NBA column, news breakers, beat writers, the high-end NBA writers. So anything that pops up there, we'll be able to dig into at least a little bit. Hopefully we see some trades and some wild shit. Like, hopefully we see Dame Lillard get traded. How great would that be? Who knows where this is going to break at this point? We got a lot to talk about. So I'm glad that everybody is here. Will the Spurs take the full time on the clock? I hope so, man. A lot up in the air there. Who knows? Who knows how it'll break? So what I personally like to look at the most is, I'm going to pull it up right now. This will be a decent tab. So I think that, yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. I think I got this down pat. So this is like an analysis of a few of the main models that exist. That's going to be all stats-based, mostly stats-based stuff. A couple of the main draft analysts, Kevin O'Connor, Draft Express, that kind of stuff, other mock drafts. So this is the consensus right now, what we have on the screen. So I like looking at things like this because it really gives you a better cross-section. And I like seeing where the statistical models and the the human models, where they intersect. That's where I think you start to see the best plays and potentially the worst plays. So obviously Wemby at the top here, clear across the board, number one for everybody. And that's just going to be how it is. So we don't really, I have very little to dig into from there. After that, it starts to get pretty interesting. So the guy whose model that put this together, every sheet that I'm looking at right now, is Jesse Fisher. He's notated by the 4 column, which I doubt you see the superscript 4 here, but this JF model in the middle here, that's the one that I tend to pay attention to the most. Not that I have any problem with anybody else's here. You got Pelton and a bunch of other people that I legitimately follow. So, but Jesse Fisher, yeah, runs the To The Mean site, been doing a lot of draft models for years. It's just stuff that I follow. I want to point out the things that I find interesting out of Jesse's model. And the first of which is right here. Anthony Black, the number 2 player coming out of the model. Watching where he goes is going to be very interesting to me because we've got analysts and mocks a little bit lower, some analytical models significantly lower. Anxious to see where he lands and which team he ends up with. Similarly, if we scroll up a little bit, Scoot in Jesse Fisher's model, 12th. Brandon Miller, 7th. Those are very interesting items. Scoot in particular at 12. The statistical models are, at least some of them, a little here. So I'm very curious to see how all of this works out, because the team that you end up going to, in my opinion, is so much more important than the individual player, especially once you get past, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, whatever. Because we just know that some teams are going to be significantly less likely to succeed. Who knows what changes get made in Charlotte over the next year with Michael Jordan selling the team. Maybe there's a total overhaul. But are you ever confident that things are going to be good in Charlotte? No, I'd be nervous about going to Charlotte. That's just a bad spot. But maybe it isn't. I like seeing what type of players are going to get taken, who's going to rise, who's going to fall, because we see somebody like here where analysts have Gradey Dick at 10. The models on average have Gradey Dick at 6. Jesse has Gradey Dick at 6, but we see some spots of him being mocked 14th, 19th, 11th. Is Gradey Dick one of the bigger sleepers, or does he fall? And is this a spot where we see someone like Gradey Dick who's getting mocked to, a double-digit team here? What if he just gets scooped up by a smarter team? And we look back at this. Maybe he's the Tyrese Halliburton of this entire scenario, because his consensus here puts him in at 6, a lot lower in mock drafts. Similarly, as we work our way down, you see some guys with big-time mock scores, much higher rank in the model section. So I'm very interested in what we're going to be looking at. I got a couple other tabs that we could look at with similar data. Let me grab one of those here. This one will help out a little bit. So as we look at this is similar. This is going to be models and mock, but you're getting the model consensus and the mock consensus next to each other. And this really helps to show you where people are lining up. Gradey Dick, 6th in models, 14th in the mock. Very interesting to me. Cam Whitmore, 14th in models, 5th in mocks. Where those two guys go, one of the bigger questions that I see. These are the types of things where I think this is where you start to see the better teams extract value. Because when you're picking 7th, let's be honest here, it's a crapshoot. The range of outcomes are massive. For every 7th pick in the draft, one of them's a bust. The other one is a high-level all-NBA guy. The range is going to be insane. I'm enjoying just even thinking about this stuff. Brandon Podziemski, I don't even know how to say that dude's name. 9th in the model, 21st in the mock draft. When he goes 17th to insert smart team here, those are the things that I start to look at and think to myself, okay, these are the teams that we know are smarter. Put it that way. So I want to make sure that I have the draft order up. So yeah, we know what's going on at the top, but seeing, and Marky Mark said it in chat, I'll bring that up on the screen right now. I want to see what the Orlando Magic do with both of their picks at 6 and 11. That is a gigantic decision point for this entire franchise. Do they bundle them both up to try to jump up and get Scoot? Do they bundle them both up with salaries, Gary Harris, for instance, and go out and get somebody else, a different guard? Orlando's got a lot of assets. He probably wouldn't go there and they'd be too early, but they are perfectly set up to go out and get Damian Lillard if they wanted to. There's no talk about that. That's not something that's happening. But if you put Dame on the floor with Franz, with Paolo, with Wendell Carter Jr., that's a real team in the East. It's probably not enough. It's too early. But they have the ability to do weird shit like that. Do they just go out and sign Fred VanVleet? Use those 2 picks to turn them into a high-level shooting guard, someone that could just be in that Gary Harris role. They've got a lot of young talent. They've got a lot more in the pipeline. What the Orlando Magic do today will be massive for everything that we see in the NBA over the next couple of years. But this is the sort of stuff that I'm looking at. I tend to go towards the model side of it all, blend in some physical projections, because physical, like length, standing, reach, height, weight, like all that sort of stuff. Like there is something to be seen there. And blending statistical models and, eye test, so to speak, is going to be your best option. You need a little bit of both. Anybody that thinks it's just one, those kind of people are crazy. What else? Like who most interesting teams for today? Like obviously the top 3 is going to be a thing. That's there's a lot going on. By the way, do I need to let me retweet the tweet of being live. I want to make sure people find me first and foremost. And then let's bring Twitter back up. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I think I got this. All right. Let's hit this question here. Thoughts on Chris Paul joining the Warriors? I don't know why my Lakers fans wanted him. Everyone should want him. You're crazy if you don't. The Lakers should have absolutely, positively wanted Chris Paul. Same as the Warriors, same as any contender. We got to remember that you got to separate truth from fiction. What are the Lakers going to do that's better in that scenario? It's not like you're giving Chris Paul 4 years, $160 more million. You're playing out the string on a 1-year deal with a non-guarantee the next year. He's worth that. And we gotta, is he hurt a lot? Yeah. Well, play for the end. LeBron James is old too. I love Chris Paul going to the Warriors. Fit, whatever. He's going to rest a lot. He's not going to have to go out there and play 34 minutes in a regular season game if everybody's healthy. He can just take it easy, have something in the tank by the time he gets to the playoffs. We got to remember that the regular season and the playoffs are 2 very different things. And getting someone like Chris Paul in this scenario to get off of that Jordan Poole contract, to save yourself $100 million next year in luxury tax by just not having that contract. Maybe you turn that contract slot into something else. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you find Chris Paul's non-guarantee to be to be more tradable than Jordan Poole's contract next year. Maybe. It all depends on where you're going. Like Jordan Poole on that contract is not helpful for the Warriors. So they got off of it. Do I think they might have paid a little bit too much to get off of it? I do. But that's not my money. And I like the idea of bringing Chris Paul in. I'm sure Steph Curry loves it. I'm sure he would like to take a little bit of a break during the regular season. It must be pretty nice to think that in the minutes where Steph Curry's off the floor, they're not going to get absolutely truck sticked over and over and over again because they have a competent second unit point guard to run the show. Steph needs to sit for a game, get some rest. You have a back-to-back. Play Steph in one game, play CP3 in the other. That's going to be great for the Warriors in the long term. So I love the idea of getting him. I like the idea, and I like it for the Wizards. I think Jordan Poole going to the Wizards, if he can shoot the ball a little bit more like he did in 2022 instead of this past season, it's a much different player. We'll see what we end up seeing for him. It should be a fun time. What else do we have in here? Where do I think Hood, Schifino? No idea. Never even seen him play. Somewhere, though. I mean, mocked 15. Model consensus right now is, 34. So based on everything that I'm seeing, on the things that I look at, Hood Schifino is likely the worst pick in the draft relative to where he's expected to go. So talk about Marcus Smart. Yeah, like Poole doesn't suck. He's a 23-year-old guard that, it's hard to come through the most legendary team of the past 10 years and make yourself look better than Steph Curry. That's hard. That's hard. Look, I love Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies. I like that move, again, for all three teams. I think if you're the Celtics, you get the better player. You get Kristaps Porzingis. He's just unequivocally better than Marcus Smart. Didn't really cost them all that much to be able to pick him up. I think Marcus Smart is an upgrade on Tyus Jones and, pseudo Ja Morant insurance. And then I like it for the Wizards because what the hell else are you going to do? You're not trying to compete. Get whatever you can when you unload these guys. And then they end up with Tyus Jones, who they can very easily flip at the deadline later. That is a guy that a lot of teams would want to have this year. So I've loved the trades that have been happening. Everything that I've seen so far, I'm very interested in the outlook of the NBA. I can't wait till we're back. Once free agency ends in that second week of July and most of the storylines are done, I'm sad, man. August is the worst for me. I want to talk NBA as much as I can. I've got beers here for the next hour to 2 hours. I got a cooler next to me just in case, so I don't have to go hunt down more beers. Whew. Man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be so much fun. Yeah, I missed it before, but yeah, Utah has plenty of draft capital if they want to move around. They are sitting currently at the 9 spot at 16. I think they got one in the 20. Yeah, 28 as well. This is just going to be a really good time. So we're kicking off at 8. I'm not actually watching the draft, which I feel like I probably should be, but I'm not. Why do people want 40-year-old CP3? They're not signing him to a 4-year extension. Who wouldn't want him right now? Every single team should want Chris Paul. And when I say every team, I mean every team that has real aspirations. Dude is beyond washed. That is a take. That is a take. We got to stop thinking that we need Chris Paul to play 44 minutes in a playoff game. That's just not what he has to do. Not at all. He had a weird year. I think being able to get some rest and not have to be the main point guard for a team is going to be incredibly helpful. But still dying people up, 39% last year. Still got to 56% true shooting, even with the most legendarily awful rim shooting year. I'd be happy to have him. We got to stop looking at him like he's Chris Paul. He's a great backup point guard. That's all. Who wouldn't want him to be your backup point guard? He's not coming in to play 40 minutes a game. Do I think Chris Paul starts for Golden State? Yeah, sometimes. Not always. He doesn't have to. Having Chris Paul and Steph Curry on the floor at the same time will be less fun than you want it to be, but they can make it work. But that does become a little bit problematic defensively. The other three guys need to be Wiggins, Draymond, and insert another defender here, whoever that is, whether that's Looney at the 5, which probably not. That's probably a Draymond, Wiggins, and then you need that third guy to be some sort of defensive three-point shooting type character. So Draymond gets paid? Yeah, of course. He always was going to. There's no choice. You have to. And he should. He's one of the best defensive players in basketball. He was worth 7.5 wins on dunks and threes last year. That's $30 million a year. Do I think Zion and his hammer get traded? I hope. San Antonio Spurs on the clock. I wonder who they're taking. Man. Whew. I'm excited for this stuff, guys. I hope you guys are as well. I'm gonna put some music on in the background so it's not just silence. I'll put my standard issue process music on in the background, just so when I stop talking for seconds, it's not pure silence. Courtney, I mean, the Warriors aren't too late in their title chances. I would not be surprised at all if the Warriors won next year's NBA title. Not at all. They have the fifth best odds right now. That works for me. They got the second best odds in the or third best odds in the West behind the Nuggets and the Suns. And I think you can make a pretty good case that like I might prefer the Warriors to the Suns, assuming Draymond comes back. Let's see. Who do I actually think is the biggest sleeper? I guess it's probably Podzimski just because he's so much higher in models than Mox. Bryce Sensabaugh, Gradey Dick to a degree, Leonard Miller to a degree. These are the guys that are like model lottery picks that are way later in normal mocks. How do they get better from this? I mean, they make another trade. They get quality signings at the minimum to fill out. Look, when Steph Curry is on the team, you're going to have a hell of a shot. Draymond's still exceptional defensively. Look, like Clay was bad. That's going to make a big difference. Does the Clay that existed in the middle of the season come back? Because he had a really terrible playoffs. But still shooting 41% from three. Look, like they're projected right now to, in theory, be the 3 seed. I can't just be like, well, they have no chance. That's not how that one works. I guess I should probably pull up the draft, huh? Not that I'm going to actually show it. Let's mute that tab because I can't make any noise, that's for sure. There we go. Let's move this over here. Oh, perfect. Now I got to set up. Now I got what I need here. Perfect. We're in good shape. I got the draft up. I got me up. I got chat up. I got Twitter up. Now we're dancing here, folks. Now we're dancing. What is my drink and beer of choice? Today I am drinking Lagunitas Daytime because they are a low-carb IPA, and I don't feel as awful when I'm done drinking it. And they're not like 15% IPAs either. It's just like a pretty tame drink. What else we got coming in here now? Let's see. Where does Julian Strother go? Yeah, like I don't even know who the hell that is. Not on my current list that I see. Let me look at my other graphics. I don't even see that name anywhere. Huh. Yeah, I don't even see that name on anything. Yikes. Maybe nowhere? How's my Seattle stack looking? It'd be looking a lot better if I was getting the pitching. Let's see. We're top 6 is I have 100% McClanahan, and he went 3 2/3. So, 66 pitches out of McClanahan, not going to get it done for me. So I probably have no chance to win, but the Mariners should help me out a little bit. Pretty annoying. Actually, I shouldn't. It's way more than pretty annoying. It's as annoying as it gets. Yeah. I played. Let's see, do I still have it open? I don't. Do I have it? No, I don't have any of it open, so I don't even know what I have any longer. I have like 70 something percent Garrett, so that's helping. But the Mariners are my most exposed team by like 2x, but because of McClanahan, I'm dead. Which is pretty annoying. No surprises, but 3-game slate, what are you going to do? Was that picture of Wemby just Wemby, or was that Zendaya? I can't really tell. Looked like the same person to me. All right, folks, good to have you guys here. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We're going to be getting pretty close to actually starting to talk about this kind of stuff. So I'm waiting to see something pop up on the screen. I don't see anything in the newsbreakers column just yet. Nothing really matters until we get this bad boy started. So with the first pick in the NBA draft, San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama. I love it, man. I hate that he's going to the Spurs because it's just not as cool. Obviously, Chandre thinks Wemby isn't good. Makes a career out of being a moron. So, there's that. Who could have seen this happening? What do I think the Hornets could get for LaMelo? A lot. Like, a lot. Assuming his injury is fine. Like, if you were to assume whatever is just going to be fine when he comes back, I mean, we're talking about one of the more talented offensive players in basketball. Plus 3.3 offensive EPM last year, plus 3 the year before that. That's really high for a second and third year guy. I mean, he's 21, and we're talking about like a top 25 offensive player. That's quick. Like, he's ahead of the game. I mean, it's barring injury, Wembanyama is going to be in the NBA for a very long time. There's just no way around it. You want to tell me that he might not get to the ceiling that everybody pictures? Like, I get it. I get there are paths where I see that. But barring injury, like by default, he's just going to be good. He's going to block a shit ton of shots, and offensively, he's just going to be able to do things that other people can't handle. Got to talk to Adam, who shipped Showdown this morning. So shout out to Adam. Adam wanted to know if I'm watching the College World Series. I was like, no, man, I'm doing a live show for the company that you work for. LaMelo is not winning any team a chip. This dude is 21 years old and is already ultra successful. 38% three-point shooter over the past 2 years. Like, you know what? I don't even want you around. Every 5 minutes, you're getting another one, so just don't even bother coming back. You're just going to irritate me. I don't want it. It's too good of a day. You're just going to say dumb shit for the next 2 hours. I don't need it. Can you imagine wearing a size 22 shoe? I wear a 12, which is big. That's like an extra foot on my foot. Yeah, I mean, like, Wemby couldn't bulk up if he wanted to. Like, does he need to get stronger? Yeah, of course. Everybody does. You're playing with a different level of man. But it's not like he needs to come in just, he put on 50 pounds of muscle. Like, that's not a thing. But yeah, like, of course he needs to get stronger. This is where it all starts, though, folks. Hornets on the clock. What do? Are they taking Scoot? Are they taking Brandon Miller? Are they trading the pick? What is going to happen? We have no idea. This is why it matters. Nate, do I think Charlotte's pick will be as bad as Michael Kidd-Gilchrist? Well, no, in that I think Scoot, at the very least, and Brandon Miller to a degree, unquestionably project better as NBA players than Michael Carter or Michael Kidd-Gilchrist did at the time. Well, per Shams, the Charlotte Hornets are selecting Brandon Miller with the number 2 pick, which means either the Blazers go Scoot and Damian Lillard tweets out in 5 seconds that he doesn't want to be there anymore, or they trade Scoot, or they go wild and this is a Thompson, and that's where things start to get pretty crazy. Let's see. Tony Garza, yes, we have a Discord. Go to stochastic.com. There should be a link at the top of the banner to get into our Discord. So it looks like we're going to be getting Brandon Miller to 2. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie. Just from the statistical models, this one scares me a bit. It really does. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. I don't have a huge preference. I don't think that I have anybody that I would immediately want to take before him. So I think it's the right play, but I don't think it's a no-brainer. What is happening in San Antonio right now? I mean, he couldn't be whiter. The jersey couldn't be whiter. The jeans couldn't be whiter. That's like the whitest white that ever whited. Courtney, it's always best player available. There is no scenario where you would take someone worse unless you have them as an equal in tier. You never drop down in tiers. If you have Scoot ahead of the Thompsons or whoever else, you don't have a choice. You got to take Scoot. You figure it out later. You trade Anthony Simons. You trade Dame. Do whatever you need to do in that scenario. The Blazers should take Whitmore. Hard disagree, but I can understand that coming from someone with a Villanova what icon? Oh, I don't know what word I'm supposed to use here. Man. So Brandon Miller at 2. Interesting. I mean, like, from a fit perspective, obviously Brandon Miller slides into Charlotte seamlessly. And it's on the screen right now. So, you're going to get LaMelo. You're going to get Terry Rozier. You're getting Oubre. You're going to get Miles Bridges back. You're going to get Brandon Miller sliding right in there. Mark Williams at center is very interesting. I don't think PJ Washington will be back. Could be. Don't think he will be. It's an interesting team. Let's look at the Darko projections just for the Hornets. I think that'll be interesting. I assume they're updated. Oh, they're not. Only for the Nuggets? Son of a bee sting. That's fine. That's fine. No big thing. Oh, wait, lineup projections? No, that's not what I was looking for either. Look, I certainly like the play. Or I certainly like the pick. But I don't think that Miller is any sort of like guarantee. I don't think that anybody is. I'm not necessarily like the biggest Scoot guy either. I'm nervous for Brandon Miller just because Charlotte has not been a hotbed for young talent. It's basically LaMelo, and that's about it in terms of like, I guess Miles Bridges did take a pretty big leap. So, Courtney, Miles Bridges is absolutely going to be on the Hornets next year. I don't know what you're talking about. Miles Bridges is going to be back with the team. So, sorry to be the bearer of bad news on that one. Bobby Witt, by the way, is 0 for 2, so with a walk. So we're getting close. We're getting close. No, Courtney, he will be on. He will be there in a couple months, I'm guessing. He's got to play out his suspension first, but other than that, Life Gambler, I could not agree less. Portland should not trade this pick for a vet. They should trade Damian Lillard. There is absolutely no reason they should trade this pick for a veteran. The Portland Trailblazers, no matter what they trade this pick for, have a 0% chance to win the NBA title next year. There's absolutely no reason to take that shot. They don't have it. Blow it up. Take whoever you think is best here. Trade Dame. Get another good pick. Bring in as many young guys as you can because you don't have it right now, Portland. All right, what else we got here? The pick is in. The pick is in. Scoot to the Blazers. Man. I have to assume that they're going to take a shot at it and then deal Dame within the next 12 months. Brutal. Yeah, Life Gambler. I don't know why they would give a shit what Dame wants to do. I wouldn't. I mean, you have to take Scoot there. I don't really think there's a path. If you want to say that it's Amin Thompson, I don't have a huge issue with that. However, I think we need to just be aware that, like, Portland isn't going to be good. Oh, Steven, every single team here is getting a shit ton of offers. They definitely did. You think Dame's going to the Celtics? That would shock me. That would shock me. I don't even know what that deal would look like. Oh, there is a correct pick for Portland. It's trading Dame. That's the correct pick. If you're going to keep Damian Lillard, making this pick and keeping this player on the team, you should lose your job. We just watched the Golden State Warriors try to do this 2-timeline bullshit. They were actually good. The Blazers already aren't good. What are you playing for? I do not understand this. Alvin, Dame to the Lakers, that's impossible. So you can skip that one. Do I think the Bulls blow it up next year? They should have blew it up 2 years ago. They tend to not make the right decisions more often than not. All right, so now is when the draft starts. Although, assuming this is Amin Thompson, it's probably one more pick before it really gets squirrely. But I'm just waiting to see the tweet that somebody is no longer on Portland. You have to take Scoot because Scoot will maintain value. Like, even a month from now, if you want to trade Scoot Henderson, it's still the same as trading that third pick. Per Kelly Eco, the Houston Rockets are drafting Ausar Thompson. No part of that is a surprise. I would expect to see Houston try to trade KJ Martin, Jayshawn Tate. I don't think Tari Eason, but like, the Rockets have a couple guys now that are in that sort of 6-7 forward realm. And I think one of them is probably going to end up somewhere else. Could be a good buy low candidate for guys looking for like an eighth man in their playoff rotation. I think those types of guys are pretty interesting. Would I trade Jaylen Brown for Lillard and Nas Little? I would need a lot more back if I were... I would not do that if I were... I don't know why the Blazers would do that deal. That's the problem with that. If I'm the Blazers, like, I wouldn't want Jaylen Brown. I'm not a big Jaylen Brown guy. If I'm the Celtics, I would do that deal in a heartbeat right now. And just push it in and go for it right in this moment. Although, in theory... No cell phone. Leave me alone. I would only have done that deal if I still had Marcus Smart, because I would want Dame alongside Smart from a defensive standpoint, because Dame is as bad as it gets defensively. I don't think that they can do that now. I think they're giving up. I think they lost their opportunity to go for that. Should the Pistons trade for a vet? No. The Pistons are multiple years away. They don't have a real player anywhere on their team other than Cade. The Pistons should trade everybody that isn't, 26 or younger. But yeah, the Pistons might be the last team in the NBA that should trade for a vet. Yeah, Courtney, they just have they don't have any way to do that. That would be a total impossibility. Okay, so Ausar Thompson ranked 4 in the model, or ranked 3 actually in the model consensus, ahead of Scoot, which I think is interesting. These guys were flip-flopped in the mocks. Seems like this is a 4-person class. Oh yeah, I think Derek White is better than Smart, but Derek White isn't a big enough defender to play alongside of Dame. Because at that point, then someone sort of like has to handle a 2, and that's a size difference thing. I like Dame in that scenario alongside Marcus Smart for the defensive ability. But yeah, I think Derek White is just the better basketball player. Yeah, the Pistons are, per James Edwards, targeting the other Thompson, which I think would be interesting at 5. I don't know why they would be doing that, but it's not like the craziest thing in the world. They need something different. But I mean, the Pistons are bad, just generally speaking. Yeah, Josh, I don't know if I would go with definitely based on James Edwards' tweet. Man, I am so anxious to see what Portland ends up doing here with Dame. I can't see them going into the season just status quo, like, oh, well, we brought back Jeremy Grant, and it's going to be Dame and Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant and Nurkic, and like, it's just like, cool, you're going to be 38 and 44. Man, I'm fascinated by everything here. Nothing else leaking right now, which is kind of crazy. I figured Shams would be a little bit more ahead of it. Like, obviously, you got the Ausar Thompson news out, a minute or two early, but... So we're going to see Ausar Thompson go here. I don't have anything really to... I didn't realize he was 20. Well, I guess that makes sense. He's a full year older than Scoot. Actually, slightly younger than Brandon Miller. Miller, 20.4 years of age. Guys, don't be afraid to hit that like button, by the way. That would help out a ton. Once we get out of like the hotbed of picks, once we get into like 7, 8, 9 range, I'll hit you guys up with some sports book deals if you're interested. You guys should be betting on this kind of stuff. Let's see. No other news. Man, Pop must be so happy. Ooh, Cal Raleigh dinger. That's helpful. It'd be a lot more helpful if Shane McClanahan didn't get hurt. JJ Redick with the sharp suit, looking good. Shout to Duke. Still no news. Spencer, I answered this before, but I'm drinking Lagunitas daytime, even though it is nighttime. We're getting to the point now where we're going to start having some really weird discussions of names and teams. I just want to trade. That's all I want. I think that's what all of us want, right? We all want to see a trade. Underdog, I appreciate you, but tweeting out that the Blazers depth chart has Anthony Simons at small forward is a bit of a stretch. Because, spoiler alert, he's not. I'm so excited to see Wemby. What position is Wemby going to play? 4 and 5, depending on the situation. He can't, like, for the first 2 or 3 years, it's a little bit of both. But he can't handle real 5s quite yet. They can't handle him though out on the perimeter. That's also a thing. But he's got to become a bit better of a shooter. Didn't shoot well lately. Has a good stroke, unblockable basically. So that'll be fun to see. All right, so Amin Thompson about to go. We should be seeing Shams breaking the 5th pick shortly. He's been about 5 minutes ahead. He seems to get it, the moment after the pick is made. So keep your eye on that newsbreakers column, that second column in my tweet deck. We should expect to see whoever's going 5 shortly. From everything I understand about Amin Thompson, it's just another bet on an upside guy. I would have loved to see Houston try to do something. I saw that rumor of, the 4th pick and, oh my God, have I stopped talking about basketball so much that I forget about the names of people that are on these teams? KPJ plus 4 to get to something else. That would have been real interesting, but I'm not a big KPJ guy. Big Gritter. He's not going to play much in Summer League. He'll play 2 quarters. There's no upside to him playing a lot in Summer League. He might play 1 game. I'm probably going to whiff on the pronunciation here because I know that it is slightly different. But Ausar Thompson looks to be going to the Pistons. That's 2 separate people now that I've seen plug that. Although it hasn't been Shams, so I trust nothing until one of Shams or Woj does it. And since Woj isn't tweeting, then it's going to be easy. No weed for me, man. I can't hit that stuff until this show is basically over. Otherwise, I won't be able to talk. Still nothing from Shams. Wild. All right, so let's start talking about what some of these guys are. I'm looking at Kevin O'Connor's comps and basically blurb of what people are. I don't really care too much about the first 3 guys, but Kevin O'Connor actually had Ausar Thompson ahead of Amin Thompson. The Thompson comps were tall Ja Morant, beanpole Zion Williamson, which is interesting, an electric shot creator with a distinguished combination of passing vision and zippy athleticism. From everything I understand, not exactly a shooter. For Ausar Thompson, shades of Sean Livingston with elite athleticism. Blur of an athlete who makes a significant two-way impact with lockdown defense and aggressive downhill scoring. I'm interested to see what Ausar Thompson looks like on the opposite, like alongside Jabari Smith. I think that's a very interesting fit. It's another situation where, you know, figuring out shooting will be important. But it's a good pick for Houston. Just add raw talent. Can't have too much of it. So now we're going to have Amen Thompson in Houston, and then we're going to get Ausar Thompson in Detroit. Woof. Oh, Brandon Brown. Appreciate you. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. What are the odds on one or two of the top 5 guys being G League only? Think they all stay with the teams all year. Do you mean like get drafted and play with the G League? If you mean it like that, then 0% chance. All right. Ausar Thompson to the Pistons. So look, he's going to step right in and play. I assume, like, there's nobody blocking him. But it's the Pistons. They're awful. I have so little to say about the Pistons. I don't think that's, like, hope he could blossom into something big, but they need shooting desperately. I'm sure Cade wanted something different. Now is when the draft starts. Like, everything is real now. Now is the time that we care the most. Because now we're worried about a team that has a real future. No, yeah, Courtney, that's basically not happening. Yes, unquestioned. Everybody that we're talking about right now will be up the entire season. What in the world are the Orlando Magic going to do? This is the most important conversations in the draft because of what the Magic have. They've got Paolo Banchero, who looked real in his rookie year. Very excited to see that. Franz Wagner is a perfect NBA player for when you get to the playoffs. This is a guy that can guard multiple positions, does a little bit of everything, an unquestioned part of a core of a playoff rotation. They've got 2 real pieces. I actually love Markelle Fultz for this team, but they're going to need something better than him in the future. The shot's just not going to be there. I don't know who they're going to take right now. I'd love to see if, like, Anthony Black could fall. I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe they go Gradey Dick here, try to get the shooting. I could see it. But this is where it starts to just become who the hell knows. This is about to get fun. All right. Still no tweets about news. Still no leaks on who's going to go here for the Magic. What does ESPN say? Is that on here yet? So ESPN has their best available as Cam Whitmore. Jerace Walker as the best fit. I don't really give a shit about any of that. And we got to remember, whatever we see done for Orlando in this moment, we got to pump the brakes. We could see a trade come 2 picks from now before that next pick happens. Somebody could be waiting to see what they do with their second pick to see who's available. So remember that whatever we see for Orlando doesn't necessarily have to be who Orlando is taking. Who's the ideal fit for the Pacers? First, let me remember when the hell the Pacers pick. Okay, so the Pacers are up after Orlando. I mean, best player available. I think Anthony Black would be perfect there. I think Taylor Hendricks would be perfect there. Gradey Dick would be perfect there. I mean, they've got a gigantic hole at the 4. So whatever you want to say the 4 is, that would be what I'd be originally looking for. But you don't need a point guard. Safe bet. And as far as I'm concerned, you don't need a center. Not that there's anything around for that one. Like there's that kind of guy doesn't really exist in this range. So some sort of wing for the Pacers. I don't like naming individuals because like I don't have a lean on these guys. I could just go by whatever the models say. Orlando is taking Anthony Black at 6. Love it. Love it. I love this pick so much. Jesse Fisher's model has Anthony Black as the number 2 option. I love to see that. They end up getting him at this spot. 6'7" with a 6'8" wingspan. Ringer. Explanation. A little bit lower on Anthony Black. Shades of Lonzo Ball. Enhances star teammates by instantly processing plays while thriving in any role. 6'6" with a 6'8" wingspan. Just great feel for the game. Not the best shooter. Look, we got to separate what Lonzo was to everybody in their minds with what he actually was on the floor. Now, in theory, to me, you kind of wanted a little bit more shooting. He doesn't really create as much as you want, but defense and a guy that just gets it, I like getting him to Orlando. He's a different player than what Orlando has as like 1s and 2s. So I'm very much pro this Anthony Black pick to Orlando. I think that's a good get for them. But I'm not basing that on me having seen anything from Anthony Black ever in my entire life. That was not, I see his picture on my screen right now. That is not at all what I would have ever expected him to look like. But I mean, even just this, some of these lines that are in the plus category from, and I'm using Kevin O'Connor's write-ups just because it's a very clean explanation on here. Whether or not these things are true, it's not something that like I get too married to, but selfless playmaker, quality passer, looks like an advanced pick and roll playmaker. Good snaking, keeps guys on his back. That is a skill set that is important, especially with someone like Paolo Banchero, or in this case, Franz Wagner. Both of these guys are going to be able to run the pick and roll very nicely. I like that. I like that a lot. But not a great shooter. That will be everything. Can he shoot enough? And that's really the question for everybody nowadays. So we're going to be coming up now on 7, right? Yeah, 7 for the Pacers. Well, I guess the Magic need to make this pick officially. It's always funny to be ahead of the curve here. Kevin O'Clean writing. Yeah, I like it. Man, based on the amount of Mariners that I have today, if I just didn't have 100% Shane McClanahan, I would be very live. I'm not going to lie. I want to shave Anthony Black's head. I really do. There's something incredibly irritating to me about people that play sports with long hair. It seems like an incredible burden. And I hate it. I hate it everywhere, too. Like, Benson Henderson, former UFC champion, MMA fighter, hated him because of his hair. Clay Guida hated him because of his hair. Elfrid Payton hated him because of his hair. Jay Crowder, even to a degree. Hair just feels so heavy. I don't know why you would want to lug that around. Unless you had, unless it was just part of your core or something. But shave that dude's, shave your head, man. Or put that shit in braids or something. That's just too much. It's too much. It's got to be so hot. Ugh. No, thank you. Hey, yeah, Troy Polamalu. Hate it. Hate it. I hate it so much. So now we're waiting on the Pacers. We're waiting on the Pacers. Does that hat even go on his head? Do you just like softly set that on top? I don't really know how that works. Maybe somebody else could let me know. Holy shit, I've been live for an hour. See, this is why I love these shows. We got 129 people in here, or 119 people in here. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. I've been here for an hour. I don't even feel like I've been here for 5 minutes. That's great. Truly great. All right, what can we talk about? What can we talk about here? Let's take that. Let's pop that in here. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, basketball players should never have long hair. Totally agree. Completely agree. Indiana still listening to trade inquiries. They have their choice in mind if they stay here. But per Jake Fisher. Ooh, per Shams. Bilal Coulibaly going in at number 7 and trading him to the Washington Wizards. Big trade from a man, ship my money. Letting him know now because I don't think he's going to know. So, let's talk this one through. Bilal Coulibaly, 17th in the model consensus, 10th in the mock draft. However, Jesse Fisher's model had Bilal Coulibaly as the number 4 pick in this draft, in the big board. Coulibaly, 6'6", with a 7'3" wingspan. That is a very, very, very different human being. Bilal Coulibaly, coming from the Metropolitans. Spoiler alert if you don't know who that is. That is the team that Wemby played for. So, another player from Wemby's team going here to the Wizards. Here's the explanation on Coulibaly. Shades of OG Anunoby and Torrey Craig. Now, don't overreact to hearing Torrey Craig. That's a very different thing. That's a good base of a person. OG Anunoby has an upside I like a lot. Big-time on-ball defense and off-ball defense, interior scoring. Having a 6'7" body with a 7'2" wingspan is a very different human being. You're not going to find anybody with better athletical measurements than him. That is as good as it's going to get. He's real in this moment. But he's raw. Not much of a shooter. You don't really need to worry about him just becoming like an offense guy. But in terms of a projectable athlete, Bilal Coulibaly, I like it a lot. I love the fact that he was 4th in Jesse Fisher's model. That matters to me. Significantly lower in most other models. I will put that out there now. Data Strictly also had him 4. That is interesting to me. Wide gaps in evaluation. If I'm the Wizards, I love them taking this shot. So the real question then is what's happening here? Are they just flip-flopping picks? Did the Wizards trade from 8 to 7 to get Coulibaly? And if so, what are they doing? Is anybody from these trades going to go to Indiana? Because they don't really have any I doubt they have any interest in like Monty Morris or Poole, obviously. Yeah, like they didn't really get anybody else. So, oh yeah, JK, to be clear here, while I do like the move to get Coulibaly, I guess they assumed that was who Indiana was going to take. If you're trading up from 8 to 7, I generally hate this. Still haven't seen what they did to do that. Maybe I'll like it, but I assume I hate it. 2 second-round picks? Okay, so I love that then. Because they just picked up 8,000 seconds from the Suns and shit. So if you want to get your guy, if it's second-rounders, then I don't give a shit. And it seems to me... So what's really interesting is I'm guessing Indiana was getting calls for that pick. Because if you're only trading 2 seconds and Indiana's willing to drop 1 spot, they can't care that much about Coulibaly. So whoever Indiana was going to take... Yeah, so Indiana's taking Jerace Walker at 8. Walker, 6th in the mocks, 11 in models. He was 9th in Jesse Fisher's model. So I don't have much to say here about Walker. I do think it's interesting, though. I wonder who was trying to trade into that Pacers spot. I really do. Oh, I need to get another beer. There we go. Got another beer. Let's do it. Yeah, so, like, that's solid from the Wizards because who gives a shit about second-round picks? And, like, look, the Wizards are trying to be bad. Let's be clear here. Coulibaly is going to be high-level bad for a while. Not the kind of guy that's going to come over here and do anything of value. Will probably be one of the worst NBA players in the league next year. That's just how rookies work. Can I get to that quickly? If I do 0. Nope, that's not the right way. Does it need to be 2? That's just rookies? It is. So let me quickly share this tab. So I've got this is dunks and threes on the screen right now. This season, all rookies, only Walker Kessler was a plus overall, was an average player or better. And I don't think that his offensive rating is like terribly relevant here at 13% usage. And like these light negatives, Tari Eason was great. Jalen Williams was great. These are amazing high-level rookie seasons. Paolo Banchero, 56% or 53% true shooting as a rookie with 27% usage. Like, that is a great start, even if he is a -1. But that's how good, like, Paolo Banchero was unequivocally awesome as a rookie and still a negative. Nobody steps in and is good. It's so incredibly difficult. So be aware. Everybody that we're talking about is probably going to suck for this next season, except for Wemby, who's just different. All right, so let's get back to Twitter. So the Wizards are taking Coulibaly. Let's see what Kevin O'Connor has to say about Walker. Shades of Larry Johnson and Carl Landry. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. Carl Landry, interesting comp there. A versatile wrecking ball on defense and a skilled playmaker on offense. Shot 35% from 3 with Houston this year. Walker has a basketball player's height and a football player's frame. Okay. But unproven from 3. Not the best dribbler in the world. We're going to hear that a lot, that it's sort of like, can this guy hit a 3? Because that's the era we're getting into now. 6'7" body, 7'3" wingspan. You teach that guy how to shoot, and he becomes an all-NBA player. You don't, and he just becomes, the 9th guy. But there's a chasm between that for being able to just learn how to shoot. I feel like I should put my my Larry Johnson shirt on, since that's a comp. Yeah, Steven, you nailed it. Raw is perfect for the Wizards because nothing matters for them right now. Yeah, 6.2% block rate this year. Fantastic. I mean, that's what's going to happen when you got a 7'3" wingspan. So we're already through pick 8. Next up is going to be the Jazz. And that's where I think all bets start to be off. Because, I don't think it matters what we see in mocks or models or whatever. Danny Ainge is going to do Danny Ainge shit. Whether this is going to be... It's probably going to be Cam Whitmore. That makes the most sense to me. Could be Leonard Miller. That wouldn't surprise me either. I think that probably waits for their 2nd or 3rd pick. I kind of feel like this is going to be Cam Whitmore here. I do want to Turn off night shift. There we go. Now everything's clean again. So, Josh, I would be shocked if the Mavs are keeping their pick. So don't get too married if somebody falls. Like, if Cam Whitmore falls to the Mavs, no matter who the Mavs get, like, that person is useless in this scenario. I assume the Mavs are doing whatever they can to trade that pick. The Mavs should not want to take anybody at 10 or whatever pick it is. I think it's 10. Yeah, it's 10. They shouldn't want to use that pick. Okay, that's a thing. You guys have any other questions or anything you want to hit on for right now? Utah selecting Taylor Hendricks at 9 per Shams. Taylor Hendricks, 8th in the model consensus, 9 in the mock consensus, 14th in Fisher's model, but a lot of other models had him in the single digits. Hendricks, springy athlete with the type of two-way versatility that makes him an ideal fit for any system. 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan, shades of Clifford Robinson and Jeremy Grant. Sure. I mean, that slides right in. Shot 39.5% from 3 this year. That's on 4.5 attempts per game. That's sort of a lot in college. Solid defense, on-ball defense, versatile up and down the positional spectrum. Can shoot the 3. Not much of a pick and roll guy. Like, I'm probably going to get this comp wrong, and I don't mean it as a comp, but like this feels, other than the age, Hendricks is 19.5, feels a little like Cam Johnson-y. Maybe a better rebounder. Not the lights out shooter as Cam Johnson either, but still good shooter. All right, I got Ship My Money messaging me, asking me if he should like the deal. I was just like, yeah, probably. What did I think of the Smart KP deal? I liked it for every one of the teams. Yeah, Hendricks seems like a really nice pick here for Utah, and obviously they're making that pick at 9, and then they'll be up again at 16. So the pick at 10 is interesting because there's absolutely no reason that the Dallas Mavericks should take a rookie. That is, we should expect to see the Dallas Mavericks has traded the number 10 pick, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Davis Bertans for whatever is going to be. So we shall see. What about the CP3 Poole deal? Sort of another one that I like for both teams. Always good to get a backup like that. I think Chris Paul is more valuable to the Warriors than Jordan Poole. They get off of that deal. They still save that salary slot, though, which is pretty important. And then for the Wizards, I think it's just a good get to get Poole and try to rehab him a little bit. I don't think that contract is bad at all for Washington because they don't have any – they're not going to be anything for the next couple of years. So let him play it out. He was really good offensively in 2022. Maybe he becomes that person again. Yeah, I don't mind that Jared Allen idea. I don't think that moves the needle enough for the Mavs, but I like it. I like it. Tim Hardaway Jr. could sort of slide right into that 3 role as a better version of like Karis LeVert / Isaac Okoro, whatever, like, you know, like a 5th guy. I mean, Jones, I don't expect Jones to be there long term. I would be very surprised if the Wizards keep Jones past the deadline. At the very least, one of Jones or Monty Morris is getting shipped out, you would think. But I don't know why they would keep Jones. I don't really see that one too much. What is Christian Wood's status? He's a free agent. Like Tyus only is on a 1-year deal for $14 million. I'd be surprised if he came back. I mean, he's not young. He's 27. But someone will want him because he's a real NBA player. Okay, so there's No Hard Feelings movie. I kind of want to see it because Jennifer Lawrence is hot. Seems like it might be pretty fun. See, I'd be more likely to keep Morris and trade Tyus Jones because I think you get more for Tyus than you do for Morris. And Tyus is quite used to coming off the bench. Once again, thank you guys for being here. Where's what can I hit on right now? If you've never signed up at FanDuel Sportsbook and you're a new user, you can get a no sweat first bet of up to $1,000. That link should be in the description of this video right now. Click that link to do so. Or sign up at, Bet 365. Bet $1, get $200 back in bonus bets. Remember, you got to be 21 or over. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you've got a problem. But 2 really good sportsbook deals in the description of this video. We're going to be talking sports betting a lot. Get ready for me to be talking sports betting a lot. I don't know when that's going to officially happen. North Carolina is going to be legalized sometime in the next 365 days. I'm hoping it's in January, but the moment it is, you're going to get a lot of sports betting conversations from me. This NBA draft show will look very different next year when I have the ability to also bet on it. Everything gets different when I get legal sports betting. JK, that's a good one. Jones would be really good on the Clippers. Not somebody that needs the ball in their hands all that much. Just set everybody up. I like that. I don't know what they could flip for him. If the Wizards wouldn't have just gotten Poole, I'd say try to flip him for Bones. Not that I like Bones either, but just that kind of thing. Those are the kind of guys. Oklahoma City is acquiring Cason Wallace from Dallas at 10. Who in the world? They can't get Dort for 10, can they? All right, so who is going to be what can be going from OKC right now? Dort would be the first guy that I would think of. Kenrich Williams. Dallas is trading Davis Bertans and Cason Wallace at 10 to OKC. Who's coming back? Who's coming back? All right, so Bertans' salary. Bertans is making $17 million. We're going to sleuth this one as quick as we can. He's making $17 million. I think this is going to be Lou Dort. No, they can't do it just for 10. It can't be. It can't be. Dort makes 15. Yo, those salaries line up. Oh. Oklahoma City sends 12 and a traded player. So it's not Dort. There's not more attached to it. Dallas is trading down 2 spots to get off of the Bertans contract. Okay. Okay, so Dallas gets a $16 million trade exception, and they keep 12. So they trade. I like that for Dallas. I like that for Dallas. Oklahoma City moves up 2 spots. All they have to do is eat the Bertans contract. Easy. Easy to do. I would imagine that Dallas still tries to get out of 12 too. We'll see what they end up doing here. Look, the difference between 10 and 12 to me is irrelevant. If you think, like, if they're trying to keep a guy and you think you can get him at 12, then you do this and you get off of that Bertans contract. That is a no-brainer. This could be a full-on, like, free move for Dallas, but we need to see what else they're going to do. So Cason Wallace, 12th in the models, 13th in the mocks, was 10th in Jesse Fisher's model. For Wallace, per Kevin O'Connor, we have shades of Drew Holiday and DeAnthony Melton, game-changing point of attack defender who also fills the gaps on offense as a playmaker and a shooter. 6'2" with a 6'8" wingspan, shot 35% from three. Great fit to OKC. I like that. And for real, not really costing them anything, other than just paying Bertans for a year or stretching him or cutting him or whatever. So now we're looking at the Magic back up again. I assume that just based on logic, that the Orlando Magic are going to take Cam Whitmore here. I think they're just going to take everything that they can. I personally think they should take Gradey Dick. That would be the direction that I would go. I would take Gradey Dick here. I think that's the best guy that they could take. But it feels like they're going to take Cam Whitmore. Now, what is pick number... Now that it's weird that they just got off of Bertans. So I wonder what they have lined up, because they clearly don't need Davis Bertans' salary. Or now are they trying to get two people? Are they going to try to get something for Tim Hardaway Jr. and maybe like JaVale McGee's contract, and then get somebody traded into the Bertans exception? Let's see who makes around 16 million. So Bertans makes 16. KPJ, no. KCP, no. Joval, no. Malik Beasley, no. None of that moves the needle enough. They could bring back Dorian Finney-Smith. Do you trade 12 straight up for Dorian Finney-Smith? They could take in Gary Harris, but that doesn't really move the needle enough. There's nobody really at that 16 mark that matters. Like, could you get KPJ from Houston? Yeah, but like that's not helping Luka in any way. I don't get the sense that DeJounte Murray is going to get moved, but he's 16 million. Marcus Morris makes 16 million. Kevin Huerter makes 16 too, so that doesn't fit, nor does Dort. KCP is obviously not leaving Denver for this. So there isn't a natural fit basically at that 16 mark for Dallas. And if you scroll down any further, you just get into a range that's unappealing. Like 12 for Robert Covington, Devontae Graham, no. Chris Boucher, no. I don't really see anything that they're going to be able to do with that yet. You have a year to cash that in, so it doesn't have to happen now. I wonder, like, they wouldn't do this, but Larry Nance makes $11 million. I can't imagine the Pelicans are trying to get off of that contract. I think they want Nance considering he closes for them, but that would fit. I don't see anybody else. Do you call Detroit and try to get like Alec Burks and something else? But like none of that moves the needle enough. Very curious what Dallas is going to do here with 12. Yeah, Steven, Grant Williams is going to make more than that 16. I think. I like that idea though. That's a great fit. Like I'd like to see him alongside like him and Maxey. If you go Kyrie, Luka, Josh Green, Jet Howard going to Orlando. The Grant Williams thing could be interesting, but I think he gets more than 16. But if he doesn't, and you want to start him at 16 into that TPE, that could work. I like that shout. I like that shout. Yeah, Doug, the Clippers would never do that deal. Okay, so let's look up Jet Howard now. Jet Howard in the models. Mocked at 24. Models at 24. Other than Kevin Pelton, nobody like aggressively high on Jet Howard here. Shades of Desmond Bane, 6'8", undetermined wingspan, feel for the game, catch and shoot threat, float game, clutch gene, slick offensive threat who could shine next to a lead playmaker. I mean, that's great. 37% from 3 on 7 attempts. He's going to let it go. Big time real three-point shooter. Obviously, son of former NBA player and Michigan coach Juwan Howard. Feels like a reach. Feels like a reach. Doug, if they wanted to trade Paul George, they'd get 4 firsts, 3 swaps, and whatever else they want. They're not doing it for 2 firsts and Kevin Porter Jr. That not even close. If the Clippers wanted to trade Paul George, they'd get whatever they want. He would probably be getting traded to like, God, I mean, like OKC would probably want him back. Everyone would want him. Okay, so now the Mavs are back up again. Cam Whitmore, mocked much higher than this, is there. I don't know why the Mavs would ever keep this pick, so I don't know what they're going to do. Whoever gets Gradey Dick, whoever gets Dick is going to be in a really good mood. Man, oh man. Oh man, I almost had a panic attack there. I saw the trade on the screen for ESPN, but it's just like the Bulls Magic Vooch deal. I don't know why I called it the Vooch deal, but all right. So the Magic here are going to take Jet Howard, and now the Mavs are back on the clock. This is fascinating. I have no idea what they're going to do here. So we're going to the Mavs at 12, the Raptors at 13. Then we get to the Pels, the Hawks. Then we start getting into like the real teams. Very interesting stuff right now. Okay. I hope that Jet Howard doesn't have his father's temperament. How have we not leaked the Mavs yet? What are we going to get here out of the Dallas Mavericks? This is massive. This is massive. Yeah. I have to assume it's a trade. I can't see a scenario where like Luka's not going to be okay with them taking someone at 12. They're just not. Mavs now have the full mid-level exception as well as a $17 million trade exception. The full MLE should be useful for adding a rotation player. Per Tim McMahon, checked with Bobby Marks first. So, yeah, but the tax MLE is not high any longer, right? What's the tax MLE for this year? Yeah, it's like 6 million. Okay. Still no new news. What's the best case scenario for the Mavs? I have no idea. I have no idea. They got to trade it for a human being, to me, like like a real NBA rotation player. There's absolutely no reason to take the 12th best player in the NBA draft. That does absolutely nothing for Luka Doncic. You have a real shot at the moment. Do what you need to do. All right, that's two of you saying lively, but I am not seeing that in any real. Oh, wait, hold on. It did pop through. Derek Lively. So they're grabbing the Dookie. Derek Lively, 10th in mocks, 15th in models. He was 23rd in Jesse Fisher's model. As best I remember, I don't like him. Lively, 15th on Kevin O'Connor's board. Shades of Mitchell Robinson, 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan, versatile big man who can protect the rim and also may have untapped potential beyond at rim finishing. I don't know why. I don't know how you make this pick if you're the Mavs. I really don't. It makes no sense to me. No sense at all. TB had him second. What's that? Who's TB? The big waif. I don't know who that person is. I don't know what the Mavs are doing there. No one needs Paul George. He's soft. Well, when you get here, you don't have to just immediately raise your hand and tell everybody you don't know shit about shit. So thanks for coming in and just being honest and letting everybody know no one should ever take you seriously. I don't get it. Look, like, obviously they executed this perfectly because they wanted to take Lively at 10 and they were able to take him at 12. That's clearly what the Mavs wanted to do. So in that regard, they got off of Davis Bertans. Great. However, Dallas is out of the tax. So they've got the 12.4 non-taxpayer mid-level. That's a different contract. Now, the problem is, I don't think it matters all that much. 1 second, wife. All right, I'm back, folks. I assume you guys can still hear me. I hope you guys can still hear me. So up next now, the Toronto Raptors. I mean, right now, this is Cam Whitmore, right? Raptors are about to take Whitmore, taking the guy that was mocked significantly higher. He just falls to the Raptors. That makes the most sense. Wife calling, not even knowing that I'm live. Let me text her back. Got to let her know. She's out of town, so NBA draft is tonight. John, I'm quite confident that if Portland could have got Zion or Brandon Ingram for the third pick, they would have done that. That just wasn't on the table. Huh. What are the Raptors going to do? That's the real question now. Seems like it's got to be Whitmore. That's just like very much a Raptors thing. At least it seems like it to me. Leonard Miller could be interesting as well. Leonard Miller is sort of like a very Toronto guy, 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan, a leaner Paul Millsap. Could see it. Wife is always out of town. Agreed. I have no idea what the Mavs are doing. Other than getting off of Davis Bertans there, I don't know why they're making that pick. That's nuts to me. They did it correctly. I just don't agree with it. So how long should I stay live, folks? We still got 113 people, so we're holding strong right now. Let's look at the rest of the picks. So we got Toronto at 13, Pels at 14. There's not really another team making a pick that I find like super interesting. I guess what the Lakers and the Heat do is pretty interesting. We'll stick around for a bit. I'm not staying live for 10 hours. That's not happening because I don't care who gets picked at the bottom. The only thing that matters to me at this point now are trades. Like, I don't give a shit about any of these dudes. None of them should be expected to be any good for a bit. And, like, I don't know how to sift through them. Is the Royals game over? Top 9. Bobby Witt at the dish the moment I actually open this up. 1-2 count to Bobby Witt. Oh, 5-5. I don't want this to go to extras, but I certainly don't want Bobby Witt to do anything positive. Get out, Bobby Witt. Get out. Mariners just tattooed the Yanks, too. Whew. Do I have anything good in fantasy? Nope, sure don't. Man, that's a shame. For the amount of Mariners I have, I should be having a much better day. Stupid McClanahan. Braxton Garrett going for 37. Yes, please. Stanton and Jared Kelenic, 0 and 0. Man, that lineup could be so much better. Ugh. Yuck. We still don't have anything on the Raptors? Derek Lively is officially going on screen right now, so we should be getting... We should be getting the leak on the Raptors pick in the next couple seconds. Yeah, Joe Ryan with the monster, too. Yeah, Obi-Wan, that one killed me. Because I have like 300 of my 800% of hitters all going to the Mariners. Not good. And I had 75% Braxton Garrett, but I don't know. All right, so Bobby Marks on screen talking. No idea. Thoughts on where I think Chris Middleton ends up? He'll end up on the Bucks. Yeah, he beat it for the Sixers. There's absolutely zero way that he could go to the Sixers. Impossible for him to end up on the Sixers. But he'll be on the Bucks. Good shit there. 20, Rick. I hope you're not fucking with me. I hope you really did K. Boom. Barring any true crazy disasters here, I'm going to go 4-0 on Prize Picks for the second straight day. Yeah, those are wild. Complete game shutout is nuts. Yo, Toronto, you mind doing your shit? How's your stuff not leaked yet? How is nothing leaked yet? Because I'm running out of real, like, we need some news. As weird as this sounds, like, we haven't had anything really interesting happen. It's been a pretty like, nothing at the top, no crazy news. We got the Chris Paul shit before the draft started, but crazy. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to have one more beer, and then I'm going to get out of here whenever that beer is done. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. We still got 112 people, so we're holding strong. Everybody that's here wants to be here, and I want you to be here, so hit that like button. But we're getting to a point now where I'm not sure we have a lot left to talk about. All right, one more beer. There we go. Cheers, folks. Thanks for joining me for this. You know how much I love it. Might have to go live for the first day of free agency, too. How many beers so far? 3. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, Obi-Wan. Come on, give me the Raptors leak. Oh, I got a burp. Stuck. Tank the Shy Guy. Lagunitas Daytime. Should have wrote that down for everybody. So we're just, I mean, like, I'm not surprised that nothing's leaking from the Raptors. They are pretty tight with it. Let's watch some Alexis McAllister YouTubes. Yeah, I would love to. Tim McMahon with the tweet. Nico Harrison called rebounding and rim protection the Mavs' top needs. The question is whether Lively will be ready to contribute immediately. Spoiler alert, no, he won't. No one will. People don't do it early. If the Pels were willing to trade Zion or Brandon Ingram for Scoot Henderson and the Blazers said no, the Pelicans should all lose their jobs. That's an absolutely ridiculous trade to make. That's a terrible trade for the Pelicans. I would be quite shocked if the Blazers would turn down Brandon Ingram in that spot. As a no-brainer trade to make. Doug Smith of the Raptors. The Raptors do not leak. Always, always remember that. Never. Well, the pick is in. We just don't know who the hell it's going to be. It feels like Cam Whitmore, right? But they're probably taking some like aggressively crazy person that like we don't know. Cam Whitmore, shades of Miles Bridges and Corey Maggette. Okay. With the 13th pick in the NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Gradey Dick. Raptors get Dick. Why is he dressed like Elton John? Is he trying to get himself today? What is this guy wearing? Oh my god. It, this is the did I change the channel? Is this the figure skating draft of 2023? What is happening right now? Oh my god, he looks exactly like his mom. Yo, this guy. What? I, I'm at a loss for words. Yo, at least the Raptors hat matches the jacket. I wonder if he knew. Oh, yeah, Spencer Smith gets it too. Okay, so he looks like a normal person when he wears a hoodie, at least. Good. Yo, so here's the deal. I love this pick. This is the best pick of the draft so far. Gradey Dick, 6th in model, 14th in mocks. This was number 6 in Jesse Fisher's model, 5th in Kevin Pelton's model. This is, unsurprisingly, a fantastic draft pick by the Raptors. Regardless of how he ends up, the Toronto Raptors just made a really good pick. Great fit, too, for them. Like, he's the new Gary Trent, right? Like, that's what's happening here. Shades of Reggie Miller and Bojan Bogdanovic, sharpshooting wing with playmaking skill that make him more than just a specialist. 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. Shot 40% from 3 on 6 attempts. Yeah, we know what he is. Look, I'm allowed to say this because I'm white, but he a white guy. We know his skills. Did he get? Yo, if he just grows his hair out, he's his mom. Oh my god. I can make 1,000 jokes right now. Yeah, evidently it's the medicals that are pushing Cam Whitmore down. So someone will take a shot at that. We've seen the Nuggets do it before with someone like Michael Porter Jr. So Pelicans, Hawks, I would be very surprised if Whitmore gets past the Jazz. If they're just going to take multiple guys, then you just take a shot at him there. Wild. I can't look at him, man. That's the most ridiculous jacket I've ever seen. The Mavs are active in the trade market to use their $17 million exception to acquire a player or for a current or future pick. What? Why do they want a current pick? Also, that's not how that works. Well, congrats to the Raptors for getting Dick. That's good. I got to retweet that one. That's perfect. Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's a great tweet right there. Oh, to acquire a player and a current or future pick. Okay. All right. So the Mavs are working to use that new exception. I don't know why they're saying it's 17 million now. It's not 17 million. Davis Bertans makes 16 million. That is not a $17 million trade exception. It's 17 million next league year. So if they are, New Orleans is taking Jordan Hawkins at 14. If they want to make that deal, they can't make that deal until the turn of the league year for it to be 17. If it's 17, Bogdan Bogdanovic fits. Markkanen is not going to be that guy. Markelle Fultz won't be that guy. They won't trade Kevin Huerter. Bogdanovich would be interesting, but I don't like. He would fit right in Dallas. He just wouldn't matter. All right, so what the hell is this guy's name? Jordan Hawkins. All right, so Hawkins was Jesus. Okay. 35th in the models, 18th in mock drafts. Hawkins was 17th in Kevin Pelton's model, but 109th in Jesse Fisher's. Shades of Rip Hamilton and Max Strus. Flawless shooter who bangs threes all over the court, brings a ton of other winning qualities. He's already 21, 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan. Shot 39% from three on 7.5 attempts. I can't say that I like this pick at all. To me, that's a really shit pick for the Pelicans. Don't like that at all. There's no way to, I can't really see a reason why you would want to take him at 14. I don't see that one. So now we got the Hawks up. Hawks are up. Who's falling? Obviously, Cam Whitmore's falling. Everybody else that was mocked quite high has gone already. I guess. At this point, I think it's hard to say who's going to take Whitmore because it's clear there's clearly an issue, and we don't know what's going to happen to hash that out. There is so much talent in European basketball, and quite a few players are chosen from Europe. How can this be? If there's talent in Europe and people get chosen from Europe, that's how it works. Sounds like you answered your own question. Okay, so I don't really care who the Hawks take because I don't like the Hawks. I'm very interested in the next 4 picks. Jazz, Lakers, Heat, Warriors. At that point, then I don't give a shit. So maybe we'll try to wait it out for the next 4. That'll end up putting us on like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something along those lines. Oh, that's a beer burp. That's a beer burp. Yeah, that's a good beer burp too. Guys, make sure you're liking and subscribing. Follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff, at Josh Engleman. You see my handle under my body. After this, I'm going to go hit the good stuff. I'm going to have a nice sleep tonight, a couple beers, some greenery, no wife in bed. Dog will sleep on her side. I'll be comfortable as shit. It's going to be a good time. Guys, if you have any questions for the 90 people or whatever that are still around, we're going to be here for a little bit longer. Hit me up with whatever you want to know. AMA, ask me anything. Anything at all. I think the Dubs take Jacques. Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe. Atlanta is selecting Kobe Buffkin. So, Buffkin in. I got jokes here. Buffkin 12th in mocks, 17th in the model, 25th in Jesse Fisher's model. So I don't have too much to add there. I believe KOC is a big Cody Buffkin guy, though. Yeah, Cody Buffkin, 8th in KOC's big board. Shades of Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel Quickley fused together. Dynamic two-way presence who will fill up highlight reels. If the jumper trends up, he's all-star potential. 6'4" with a 6'8" wingspan. Feel for the game, on-ball D's, a pull-up threat, shot 35.5% from three. I assume the Jazz take Cam Whitmore. It would blow my mind if they don't, given what they have. They have too many picks. You just take the shot and hope that you're right. Yeah, like I don't care at all about this Kobe Buffkin guy. All right. Ooh, I got a bunch of questions. All right. So Blaze Up Nightcap, absolutely. What's AEW going to do with CM Punk? They're going to run him into the ground until he gets hurt again or alienates himself in the locker room. Personally, I can't wait. So good on the stick. Are the Suns going to trade Ayton? And do you think the big three can work together? Yeah, I mean, like Durant, Beal, and Booker will be fine. Offensively, they're going to be impossible to stop. That should work fine. I don't know if they're going to have enough defense to make it work. But I would be very surprised if they don't trade Ayton. Unless Ayton just wants to be there now and be that guy. I like Ayton if he buys in. Do I think Grady puts on a wig and pretends to be his mom on the weekend? Maybe. What pick do the Bulls have? The Bulls had the 11th pick, but they traded that away to get Nikola Vucevic in one of the dumber trades you'll see, which I shit on probably live. I am a little worried about Liverpool, but I think we'll end up getting a couple more signings. We still got plenty of time. How do I think the 5 on the submersible went? Quite quickly. Just all of a sudden gonzo. All right. This guy could probably get timed out a bit. Remember, Ayton might have looked miserable, but they got a different coach now. So that could change things. I think anything could be different now. I don't think there's a market for him. That's really the problem. I think you want Ayton because I don't think that there's a way to make that any better. And I don't know what they could get because I don't know who would want him. Favorite pre-Osimo stochastic moment from my streams. I don't even remember them anymore. Probably the day that I faded, which I think this was still on my own, when I faded DeMar DeRozan and he went out and set like the Raptors scoring record. So Spencer, like that's just a challenge trade. And Jared Allen looks so bad in the playoffs that I don't love that. But like that's a lateral move. If you're trading DeAndre Ayton, you either need to get a different kind of center, so like a Miles Turner type where you're getting a stretch 5, or you don't care about center and you're looking to get wing talent back. I just don't think that there's anything. I like Ayton, and I think that there's some upside there. But I don't know what team would be like, we're a DeAndre Ayton away. If he buys in defensively like he did 3 years ago. Kobe Buffkin, now currently my second most hated Kobe, I guess. That's great. Per Woj, Keontae George is going to be going to Utah. Cam Whitmore, man, just woof. Keontae George out of Baylor, 21st in Jesse Fisher's model, 15th in mocks, 27th in just generic mocks. Keontae George, 14th on KOC's model. Shades of Bradley Beal and Jaden Hardy. That's some ups and downs. Lively scorer with the ability to shred defenses through playmaking and defensive intensity. Give him the upside to be a complete guard. 6'4", unknown wingspan. Shot 34% from 3 on 6.9 attempts. I assume they were hard attempts. I don't love this pick for Utah. Don't love that at all. Not sure I get it. January 1st, 2018 was the DDR day, Andrew. Then I was on my own for that. That happened. Suns need to deal Ayton for 2 to 3 solid players for depth. Yeah, I just don't think that exists. Tell me what team that's supposed to be to. Tell me what team wants to do that and trade 2 to 3 depth pieces. I just don't think that exists. Why would it? If Indiana wants him, then it becomes Miles Turner. And like, if I'm the Suns, I would trade Ayton for Miles Turner in a heartbeat. Any word on the most hated player Dylan Brooks is going to sign? No idea. Where do I think the Thunder sit in the West? Yeah, they're going to take a massive leap next year. Massive. Every year from now, they're going to be exceptional in terms of like improvement. They're real. If they do anything in free agency, they're real. I mean, like, I'd love to know what the price for Ayton is, because I would, if I'm them, I'd be interested in Ayton, but I don't think it's worth using that salary slot on him. Like, it's the kind of young player that at least fits your core. Because I think they need. I mean, maybe they don't. If they got like, their defense was good this year, and they got away with a bunch of guys that, like Kenrich Williams playing the 5. Maybe it can just be Chet. Okay, so we've got Jazz taking whoever the fuck, Keontae George. So now it's Lakers, Heat, Warriors. Those are the next 3 picks. Whatever happens for those 3, that's all that matters. After that, if a trade happens, catch me in the morning. I'll probably tweet about it. Has the Royals Rays game ended? It has, which means I printed back-to-back 4-0 cards on Prize Picks today, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's tweet this bad boy, too. Let's find it. Let's find it. Where's my tweet at? Boom. Boom. Quote tweet. Get this tweet out quickly. Bob, boom. Cam will fit nicely in Los Angeles. Just what LeBron James is looking for. A rookie with questionable medicals. That'll help. That'll help. Do I think Wemby is an alien? He might be. How does Bertans affect OKC's cap? I think they're already. They don't have any cap room to my knowledge. I don't think it changes anything. I don't think they had the ability. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think they had anything. Let me just look at it quick. Multi-year summary. Yeah, spot track. I don't know what you did here, but I don't like it. Where are the totals at now? Oh, this is awful. 13, 14. Maybe they do have room. I mean, with Bertans, if they wanted to, they could stretch him over 5 years, I guess. I actually like Bertans for them as a stretch five. He might actually play, or that he's never around. That's also possible. We're down to 88 people. People are tailing off after the lottery ended, which means I might be getting out of here now too. Let's see what the Lakers do, and then we're going to pack this bad boy in. I didn't really realize we're at 17 now. So, yeah. Well, Lakers pick is the final pick for this show. Guys, thank you for being here. Yeah, I don't have anything else interesting to say, guys. Sorry. So, can we talk about how boring this draft was? Like, this is. I prefer my trade deadline shows. I feel like we have more to talk about. Nothing happened. We got that generic ass, we got like the stupid Wizards trade for 2 seconds. The Mavs just barely trade back. There's nothing here. It's just a boring draft so far. Unless something crazy happens in the middle of these rounds, there's nothing left to talk about. If I had to predict a non-Wemby rookie of the year, who do I think it would be? Okay, I like that question. I could dance with that. Let me look at everything that's been taken so far. Who's likely to score a lot? Man, I mean, I guess it's Brandon Miller. I think it's got to be Brandon Miller. I don't really see anybody else that's going to get like enough offense. Yeah, Brandon Miller, I guess. It's a bleak list. Oh, yeah, Chet. Yeah, Chet. The answer's Chet. The answer's for sure Chet. Would I take the field over Wemby for Rookie of the Year? No, I wouldn't. As long as he plays like 50 games, he's got it. Because he's going to have insane defensive stats and enough scoring because it's the Spurs. All right, Lakers, get your shit in so we can get out of here. Tomorrow morning, contenders videos and prize picks videos. I'm on the deeper dive tomorrow. Is Miller going to start with Bridges coming back? I'd be shocked if he doesn't start. Absolutely shocked. I don't think Bridges is going to have a ton of goodwill with the Hornets right now. Just a guess, though. Just a guess. Man, I love the NBA. I love the offseason. You'll see a lot out of me probably over the next 2 weeks. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Just talking free agency. Once free agency is over, the NBA kind of chills for a bit, but I'll be talking big time stuff for free agency. Come on, Lakers. Just make the pick. I got to hit the head, man. These beers are filling me up. Jeez, like, how bad are Cam Whitmore's medicals for real? Like, did Brandon Miller shoot him? I miss the 6 a.m. lives too, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. Every year, I feel like I'm not going to do the process show again. I love it, but I hate getting up that early. It's a real chore. We'll see what the world looks like in October. I hope that I'm doing it, but it's also possible that I don't. I just don't know yet. I want to do that show in some form. I just don't know if I want to do it at 6:30. But I need the problem is it has to be done that early because I have so much other content that I have to do. It's a real pain. It's a conundrum because it's my favorite thing. And I should prioritize my favorite thing. But I hate waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It sucks. It takes a while to get used to that. And I like watching basketball. Yeah. So, the 30 minutes helps, but it doesn't help. Houston trying to trade up. I mean, I like the idea of Houston trading up to take Cam Whitmore. Because if you're the Houston Rockets, why not? Yeah, door dashing me Brits, man. That's like an hour drive. Lakers are selecting Jalen Hood Schifino. Whether or not he's staying with the Lakers, I don't know that for sure. Hood Schifino mocked 15th. Technical models 34th. Was 20th in Jesse Fisher's model, so at least that checks out. But, there are obviously other options. Hood Schifino 13th on Kevin O'Connor's list. Shades of Spencer Dinwiddie. Maybe he's the non-Din shitty. Big cerebral guard, thrives as a playmaker in the mid-range. 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. All right, guys. I'm going to pack it in, man. That's it. I give up. I got nothing left to say at this point. This draft was fun. We went 2 hours and 12 minutes. I'll take what I can get there. I'm happy that you guys were here for it all. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Enjoy watching the draft. I will certainly continue watching it. If anything happens, I'll make sure to tweet it out. But for now, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you for being here. It's always a good time. Talk to you later. Bye.